We're on a quest to find the world's best new music and to honor and promote independent artists like you. We hope you'll submit your music and become part of our competition. You'll find the entry form at www.globalmusicawards.com.
Nikki, thank you for being here.
Cool, Thomas.
It's great. So today we're going to talk about musicians and social media, and you are a musician, so
Correct.
let's hear about your musical activity and interest.
Awesome. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Thomas at the Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. I'm a brand marketer. That's what brought me here. I'm also a musician, as Thomas just mentioned. I'm the drummer in an all-female rock band called Revolution Eve.
Go Revolution Eve.
Yeah, it's the eve of a revolution. We believe that everybody is on the brink of an inner revolution, and that's what our music is about. And I am just privileged to share some information about how we got our start. We are started up, we're a new band, relatively, 2012. And one of our first challenges coming together after we've created our own sound and had our chemistry kicked off was getting a name. So I think all new bands go through the same thing. So we were happy to come up with Revolution Eve. It had meaning to us. All five of us felt good about it. It was a 2 to 3 month process, so hang in there. Just keep gnawing at the bone. I think coming up with a name would be an obvious, vital part. I think as a brand marketer looking in on our project, there's 3 tips that I could give every startup band or relatively new band immediately.
All right. Tips,
social media marketing tips. Before you start your social media outreach, it's important that you have all the core basics in place. And from a marketing perspective, that translates into something that I think all bands miss. Number 1 is you should really know who you're targeting or who you're attracting. So figure out a typical target persona. Are you attracting, or you think you're attracting, young kids under the age of 17 or 15? Are you attracting middle-aged people with a disposable income? Who are your communities? Who's your typical audience? And I think that's really important to embrace that and sit down and really think about that. That would be number 1.
Number 2.
Number 2, I think along with what I said, the challenge in finding the name that really resonates with your music and the chemistry of the group that you are is branding. So what is your brand? And everybody knows what rock and roll look and feel is. It's pretty obvious. It just comes naturally. But I think more important is to come up with a logo. Obviously, the domain name. I think everybody should be looking at getting a domain name right away after the name's been identified. It doesn't even have to be .com. It could be .net, but just make sure that it is in line with your name. And then I think setting up all your social media profiles and having really professional imagery.
There you go. Some really good photos for the website and to use for publicity. Some really high quality clips to be able to put on the website so that when people are interested in you, they can Google and find you, or so that they can understand who you are if they somehow find out about your music.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. I think key in your branding should be knowing that your target audience isn't just the folks that are listening and wanting to go to your shows or buying your music. Your target audience is also, festival bookers and venue owners, and they need to know that, you guys are really professional and you're not just out there to have a good time at their expense. So showing your brand through professional photos with your domain. I would even recommend setting up email addresses, not just Gmail. It's pretty easy if you have hosting and you have your website going to get your own email aliases that are branded with your band's name, and even make aliases like booking at yourbandname.com, for instance. So we have a booking at revolutioneve.com, and there are 3 of our 5 band members, including myself, share that so that nobody is missing an email or a communication between something critical like getting a booking, which is what it's all about.
2 tips, 3 tips?
Yeah, the third tip.
Third tip.
I think bands, it's important to work on your music, and that's working in your business. I think it's equally important to take some time and just have some fun offline workshop weekends or a workshop day together and work on your business. My third tip is sit down and have a strategy for the year, even for 2 years. If you're really serious about moving forward and getting beyond just playing in your local scene, it's really important that your band sits down and have a strategy together. So for us, that broke down into, we brought tents. We camped out in our guitar player's backyard, and we sat there and thought about what makes sense to do what with the money that we have and to do when. And for instance, we focus on festivals because we get a lot more exposure for less money, and live shows has been really an important aspect in our first 2 years. We have an EP out with 5 songs.
The name of which is, if someone wants to find it?
Yeah, the name of our EP is called Arise, and that is basically the name came up with. Here we are. It's our first 2 years out, and we're thinking big. Whether that happens or not doesn't matter. We're here to have fun, and it also is about a rise from inside. Just kind of evolving your personal self, which goes along with the name Revolution Eve.
I just see that something new was born. One by one they fall down silently, burning down their companies. I just wish that I could come undone. I can't leave, I can't bear the torn apart by something I can't change. Don't walk away. Stay. Don't walk away. Stay. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. One more country falling down, one more senseless battleground. Stop
So, yeah, back to the strategy. It could be that, grow a fan base. That should be your number one thing. I think the best way to grow your fan base is to get out there and play live. Even if you don't have enough material yet, you could add in a few covers. And then I think right now we're in our 3rd year and we're going for the big album. So we're playing a little bit less this year, but now we're focused on the album so that we can have our main product and keep recycling this.
So play live, I agree with you. Being out there is absolutely essential. Developing fans by being out there and playing, but you have to keep in touch with those fans, right?
Right.
Hence social media. So what tools would a person use? And then I have a follow-up question. Well, what tools would you say are essential? I mean, Twitter, Facebook, Reverb Nation. I mean, are those the ones that, or do you think?
Yeah, we have Reverb Nation that also gives us a distribution channel with our EP and soon to have our own album. So I really highly recommend Reverb Nation as a channel. You can also connect with other bands on Reverb Nation with whom you could play and exponentially grow your audience through piggybacking together. Facebook is a clear, obvious one. It's the biggest one for us as well.
With photos?
We always invite professional photographers to our shows, and they never charge us anything. It's important that we copyright their name. Every photo that we share that's been professionally taken, it's an even exchange. They get the exposure for their work, and we get great photos. Great
photos are so important. I mean, they are really key to spreading the word about a band.
Yeah, and there's plenty of photographers out there.
All right, along this same line, at a performance, how do they collect the information they need in order to communicate with their fans later?
Great question.
Strategies. How do you, the mechanics of how to do that?
So remember, every time you play a show, that magic gets created, and it's soon lost after the show. So your goal is to capture that feeling of magic that people have for you, and they're glowing about your performance, they're glowing about you, and they're glowing about the feeling that you gave them. It's important to capture that, and how we do it, and I recommend this as well, is merchandise is a really low-cost way to be able to have a leave behind, but also a foot in the door with in exchange for their address or a like. So we would say, hey, go home and like us on Facebook, and then we're gonna basically it's a little bit of postage sometimes, but it really helps us out, and we send a little pack. We send a small t-shirt and little ear packs for people that not only like us, but that we see are sharing us on other channels. So we really want to promote that. Or we just simply say on the microphone, our lead singer says, hey, don't forget, like us on Facebook. That really helps us out. And, if you enjoyed the show, help other people enjoy it. And we're not afraid to have people share their own, people bring their iPhones and their smartphones. And we totally promote that they would share that as well.
One thing that I've seen done is the little plastic bands that can be bought from multiple places that have your social media handles on the band, and telling people, well, take a little clip of the performance right now and tweet it out.
For sure.
And go home and post it on Facebook, what you've captured.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a great thing, we do the same, we don't have the bracelets, which I find to be a great idea, but since, we do a lot of power and speed, it's kind of loud in there. We hand out to the audience, we throw out branded boxes with little ear protection inside.
So then they're branded.
They can see our website. We really want people to go to our website first, and that way they can see when our next shows are, and they can go through to Facebook and read news, what we're up to, EP. So I think one of the tips would be try to have a website that is your central hub through which you can filter traffic.
Which also suggests then collecting emails.
Exactly.
Because emails are very reliable. I mean, if you get an email list, it's gold to announce concerts and sell albums, and
That would be, if you're not thinking that your email list is one of your biggest assets next to your album and your music and your live shows, you are mistaken. Your email list is everything.
Gold.
It is really gold,
Yeah.
honestly. And it's a great way. You're doing your fans a favor by staying in touch.
All right, so let me close this out with a question of how shameless should the leader of the group be during the performance of talking to people, saying, hook up with us, here's our handle on Twitter and Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. How shameless should that be? I mean, I have my opinion that it should be pretty shameless.
Yes.
That the fans want to help you. And
Absolutely.
you basically can say, this is the way you can help us. You can be this, and you can tweet, and you can be part of the band.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I kind of agree. I think it should be as shameless as it is tasteful. I think it should make it feel like it's about them and not about you.
Well, I
There
agree
is
with that.
really
That
a
I agree
line.
with, yeah.
And if you're making everything about them, they'll just do it anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, so mention the name of the band again. Mention your social media
Listen,
handles.
If anyone has any questions, I welcome because I'm in the same boat and I have the same enthusiasm, and I think music is a beautiful gift that we bring to the world. So please write me or connect with me and ping me for any ideas, exchange, or questions at NIKNSTIX at Nick and Sticks. That's my handle for drumming.
Right.
We're at RevEve1 on Twitter. And of course, you can go to the revolutioneve.com website and connect with us on Facebook. And just keep on rocking. Keep doing what you're doing, but remember, work on your business as well as working in your business. Your band is your business.
Nikki, thank you so much. That was
Thanks,
fun.
Thomas. Awesome. Thank you again. Having a good time.
We encourage you to submit your best music to Global Music Awards. Receiving our honors will impact you in incredibly positive ways and expose your music to a wider audience, including music industry insiders. Submit your best music to Global Music Awards so we can help boost you to the top. You'll find the entry form at www.globalmusicawards.com.